Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, an Insight. Episode 222. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan brother telecasted in Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnuhu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Devotees, we have been listening about a great ardent devotee by named Raghuveer Bhaskar Purandare. In this connection, we heard that Sri Sai Maharaj directed him to go to Radhakrishna Mai's home. Few have misconceptions about the Divine Mother. It is unethical to talk ill about Mother. At one instance, Sri Sai Maharaj had mentioned that there is a Rinana Bandh, that is bondage from the past births between him and Radhakrishna Mai, which is deep but not related to bodily relationship. To the wonder of all, whatever Sri Sai Baba pondered, Sri Radhakrishna Mai spoke. Likewise, Radhakrishna Mai would send flowers to Sri Sai Maharaj, and by smelling the flowers, Sri Sai Baba would read her thoughts and give response to her thoughts. Isn't this amazing? It is not easy for ordinary souls like us to understand her greatness or yogic powers. Hence, none of the Sri Sai devotees must indulge in spreading wrong messages or speak immoral statements about the Divine Mother. There are innumerable instances which would speak volumes of her tireless efforts and unparalleled services to the Supreme Lord Sri Sai Maharaj. Let us contemplate upon one of that now. On the occasion of Guru Purnima, Prasad was getting prepared at mother's house. For the food, they wanted to grind some masala, hence, to pound it, they were in need of a big rock, and mother felt that the rock be kept on the step leading to her home. While moving the stone, it turned and was about to hurt Reg's finger. But the mother turned it towards her, and the index finger of hers was crushed into two. You can imagine her agony, but as if nothing had happened, she dipped a piece of rag in oil and wrapped it around her bleeding finger and continued to help in cooking. Only after all the work was completed, she called Reg and said that she could feel the pain and wanted to go to the jungle and cry. They both went there and she cried almost for half an hour. Devotees, can you even imagine the control she has over her body and indifference to pain and pleasure in the service of the Master? After that, she came back to continue the normal work, says Justice M.B. Reg. Reg and Purandare say, though her finger was chopped into two pieces, they did not find any trace of pain on her face while she was preparing the prasad for the festival. Devotees, it's astounding to note that the mother at this young age, by her yogic powers, controlled her menstrual cycle. This was revealed by her to M.B. Reg. In fact, only after meeting Radhakrishna Mai, the most beautiful Divine Mother Balaram Mankar got the realization that she is none other than Goddess Annapurni and decided to renunciate from worldly life. Mother never wore any jewelry or grand clothes. She wore just a white sari, but to Mankar, she appeared as Goddess Annapurni, adorning precious jewelry and magnificent clothes. Thus, many devotees were blessed to experience her divinity as revealed by her in a most subtle way. M.B. Reg, Avasti, and Purandare, these three prominent devotees had regarded Mother as their guru, such was her yogic prominence. Hence, we as devotees of Sri Sai must never listen or spread any improper propaganda made against Divine Mother. Sri Sai Maharaj has indicated her home as Shala, that is, school, as he would send the devotees to test their attitude towards women, because Mother was so graceful and beauty personified. Sri Sai Baba made her as a scale to gauge the qualification of his devotee. This act of Sri Sai Maharaj itself is a testimony to the fact that Sri Radhakrishna Mai was a taintless gold. She, being a holy mother, need not put to test, whereas we humans had to undergo these experiments to prove our status, and this is remarked as the test for Kamini in Sri Sai SATCHARITRA. Now it was Purandare's turn to go to the Shala. So Purandare went and knocked at her door. From inside, Mother asked, "Who is that?" He responded, "I am Bhaskar Raghuvir Purandare." "Mother, from where have you come?" He said, "I have come from Dadar." Even after he answered these preliminary questions, the door was not opened. Hence Purandare requested, "Please open the door. I have been advised by Sri Sai Maharaj to meet you." The reply was, "Stand there." Purandare waited for almost 10 minutes, but the door was still closed. So he returned to Dwarakamai. Sri Sai Maharaj asked him, "Did you go to the Shala?" He said, "Yes, I did go." "Did you see Radhakrishna Mai?" asked Sri Sai Baba. Purandare said, "She asked me who I am and from where I have come, and I answered her questions. Still, she never opened the door. I waited for almost 10 minutes. As she didn't open the door, I returned." Sri Sai Baba said, "No, now you go again. She will open the door." Purandare went back and knocked the door, saying, "This is Purandare." Instantly the door was opened. Mother came running towards him, held his legs tightly, and with tears screamed out, "Tayi!" Tayi means sister in Marathi. Radhakrishna Mai treated Purandare as her oldest sister. She addressed Sri Sai Maharaj as mother and Purandare as sister. This was the first time Purandare met her, and she addressed him as her sister, so he was in a fix. Yet his mind was at peace, and he experienced an inexplicable joy seeing Radhakrishna Mai. Thus, he felt that she is his guru. In his interview with Pujya Sri Narasimha Swamiji, Purandare said, "Mother has a sweet, melodious and soothing voice, but at times while singing she would cry profusely. In some situations she would abruptly stop singing and sit quietly. So her actions were unfathomable to others. But the moment I had my first encounter with the Divine Mother, I felt that she is everything to me. Motherly affection filled my heart," says Purandare. Devotees such as M.B. Reg, Avasti and Purandare never portrayed themselves as ardent devotees to Sai world. Yet they were very dedicated and devoted to Sri Sai Maharaj, stayed in the Shala whenever they came to Shirdi for Sri Sai Baba's darshan. These three regarded Sri Radhakrishna Mai as their guru and marveled at her Madhura Bhakti. The term Sai Ram is a very common word among the Sai devotees, and this was first chanted by Radhakrishna Mai. At one instance, the Divine Mother told M.B. Reg that let us remain chanting the name of Sri Sai Baba, and thus they both sat and chanted Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, and this gave rise to the Nama Japa Sai Ram. Gradually, Purandare developed great affection and intimacy with his Guru Sri Radhakrishna Mai. Because of this connection, when Purandare suffered from severe headache, he wrote to the Divine Mother to request Sri Sai Maharaj on his behalf for relief from pain or grant death. Let me quote the conversation that occurred between Purandare's mother and Sri Sai Maharaj. At the time of leaving Shirdi, Purandare's mother spoke to Sri Sai Baba thus, "Baba, he is your child. Please take care of him." Sri Sai Baba gave an astonishing reply to her. "Me and Bhav have been connected for the past 7 centuries. Let him be even 2000 miles away from me, but I am engrossed in his thoughts. I don't eat even a morsel without his thoughts." Devotees, at this circumstance, Sri Sai Maharaj used the word Bhav instead of addressing him by his name. The term Bhav has 2 meanings. When pronounced as Bhav, it denotes brother, whereas if it is just used as Bhav, that indicates bundle of emotions. Dr. Pillai was also addressed as Bhav by Sri Sai Baba. Though Purandare was referred as Bhav, it is taken as Bhav because the difference of age between Sri Sai Maharaj and Purandare could be roughly 36 years. Moreover, the relationship between the two was that of a mother and a son. Devotion can be of various types. One is Sakhya Bhakti, that is the devotion that prevails between 2 friends, that of Lord Krishna and Arjuna. The devotion that reveals the motherly affection is known as Vatsalya Bhakti. This is one of the highest kinds of devotion, and this existed between Sri Sai Maharaj and Purandare. We will be heeding to a divine sport of Sri Sai Maharaj related to Purandare in the future episodes, but I would like to just recall the gist of it now. Once, Purandare was engaged in making holes for fixing wooden shaft to support the top sheets at Dwarakamai to extend it to make a room. We understand that Sri Sai Maharaj is never in favor of any construction, renovation or repair work of Dwarakamai or Chavadi, and he would get enraged when something of that sort is done. Listeners can recall while constructing the Sabha Mandap, the devotees would wait for Sri Sai Maharaj to go to Chavadi to sleep, and throughout night they all would work hard and install the pillars, whereas the next morning when Sri Sai Maharaj returned from Chavadi, he would uproot all the pillars and threw them away, and this incident is given in detail in Sri Sai SATCHARITRA. Getting back to the original thread, Purandare had put a lot of effort to fix the wooden shaft and neglected even to eat his food. Sri Sai Maharaj would not accept fasting. Hence, he called Purandare to come down to have his meal, whereas Purandare was firm in his decision and continued to work. Sri Sai Baba warned him repeatedly, but Purandare was stern and said, "If I leave the work incomplete, then you might mess it up, so I am not going to go until I complete it." Sri Sai assured him that he would not spoil his work, so he can stop for now and go to eat his food. Following the assurance from Sri Sai Baba, Purandare decided to pause the work at that juncture. Fakir Baba added, "Baba, though you assured him, he is not convinced to leave the work." Sri Sai Maharaj spoke very significant words, and those reflect the motherly compassion of Sri Sai Maharaj upon Purandare. Sri Sai said, "What to do? We must endure all this. While sitting on the lap of a mother, if a child passes feces, can the mother kill the child for doing this act, or can she chop off her thighs as the feces was on her? No, but must tolerate the act of the child. This situation is also like that. Devotees, there can be no better statement to express the Vatsalya Bhav as compared to this. So, as there existed a mother and child relationship between Purandare and Sri Sai Maharaj, there is no possibility of Sri Sai Baba addressing him as Bhav. Instead, it should be Bhav. Also, Purandare was a very emotional person. Even if Sri Sai Maharaj had a mild temperature, Purandare will not tolerate it. He would start weeping and will be extremely worried. During the year 1915, Sri Sai Baba fell ill and he was unable to speak or eat. Looking at this plight of Sri Sai Maharaj, Purandare was bursting out in tears. Sri Sai Baba consoled him saying, "Bhav, why are you in tears? Allah has given me this with a reason. Don't worry, I will be all right." As Purandare was very sensitive and his heart had strong and infinite love overflowing for Sri Sai Maharaj, he would get emotional very easily. This is the reason for Sri Sai Baba to address Purandare as Bhav. At times, he would also call him as Ram Bhav or at times Vishwanath. Devotees are of the opinion that as there has been a connection between the two for 7 centuries, Purandare must have borne the name Ram Bhav or Vishwanath in his previous births. In fact, at one circumstance, Sri Sai Maharaj told Bade Baba, "He is not heeding to my advice, hence go to Ram Bhav and ask him if he will lend his ears to me and take my directions." Bade Baba was confused as he didn't know who Ram Bhav was. So he went and inquired all the new visitors if there was anyone by name Ram Bhav. He couldn't find anyone with that name. Even the old devotees couldn't trace out who his Ram Bhav was. As this name was christened to Purandare by Sri Sai Maharaj just at that moment. Bade Baba returned to Sri Sai Maharaj to say that he couldn't trace out the identity of Ram Bhav, hence he couldn't convey the message of Sri Sai Baba. For this, Sri Sai Maharaj said, "Okay, go and find out from Vishwanath if he will follow my instructions." Again, the same exercise was done by Bade Baba to find the person bearing the name Vishwanath. For the second time, Bade Baba returned to Sri Sai Maharaj to say he couldn't find Vishwanath. Devotees, watch the playful sport of our beloved Guru Sri Sai Maharaj. He finally said, "Okay, at least check with this person," pointing to Purandare, "if he will abide by my words." In fact, by all the 3 names, that is Bhav, Ram Bhav and Vishwanath, Sri Sai Maharaj indicated Purandare. In this context, instruction given to Purandare by Sri Sai Baba was to construct home, whereas he was reluctant as he was already in a financial crisis. So to emphasize that the construction must be started, Sri Sai Maharaj used his unfathomable ways to reinforce his views upon Purandare. So to conclude, the term Bhav was used by Sri Sai Maharaj on Purandare to depict his emotions towards him. As per the saying, Yatha Bhava Tata Anubhava, which implies a devotee gets his results from Sri Sai Maharaj based on his attitude towards him. You reap what you sow. Purandare had deep loving emotions towards Sri Sai Maharaj. So was the grace that was bestowed by Sri Sai Maharaj upon him. There are many incredible leelas that exhibit the determination of Purandare in keeping up with the instructions of Sri Sai Maharaj. How was Purandare's wife saved by Sri Sai Baba? What was her Rinanabandh with Sri Sai Baba? And many more amazing leelas can be discussed in the coming episode. Bow to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.